It's exciting stuff.
Summer tour. We're
Summer
back.
tour.
Hi, Neil.
What's up, man? It's been so long since we've last done this.
It's been like 2 weeks
It's been
since
two
our
weeks.
last episode, but it's been like almost 2 months since our last, long string of day after shows in a row.
Yep.
So it's good to be back. I've been pumped about this all day. I was like, we're back on tour. Pod at 3:30. Like interrupting my daily schedule every single day
Every
for the
day.
next couple of weeks. Like, I'm ready to get back in the saddle.
I'm just pumped to talk about this show,
This
to
is
be
a great
honest.
show. Yeah,
Yeah. This is a great show. We have a great guest. I
we
mean,
do.
this is a great day.
We do. It is a great day. We have a lot to talk about. There was a celebrity guest at the show. A lot of interesting jams. A lot of interesting tones. Of course, and despite the fact that we weren't able to watch most of the first set due to some stream issues, shout out to Peter for getting those fourths up very, very quickly and allowing us to experience it this morning. And I look forward to watching the video for certain segments of the first set when that does come out.
Ooh, certain segments, you say.
Ooh, yes. Well, shall we bring on our guest and start talking about the show?
Yeah, the suspense is going to kill me now, but yes, let's please bring on the guests.
All right. Yeah. Great shirt choice, Neil.
In honor of all the haters on the internet, I'm wearing the Garboose today. That
Yes.
was very, very intentional.
Very intentional. All right. We're going to bring Anna on. Hello, Anna. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Welcome back.
Doing awesome.
Glad to have you back. Happy belated birthday.
Absolutely. Thank you. It was like a pretty good birthday party, I'll say.
It was okay.
Yeah, not
It
half
was,
bad.
a couple thousand people came to hang. It was
Yeah.
nice.
It's good.
Bert
And Goose
Kreischer
played.
came to my fucking birthday party, so whoever that is.
I mean, he found out about it on the internet. He's apparently a big fan of Jesse's, because I don't know if you saw his Instagram story, but there's like one where he's like panning over the crowd and then he just zooms in on Jesse. So
But it was
I
just
think
like
they're pals, and
it
just
looked to me
fun.
like it was just the general area that Jesse was in. I don't know if it was specifically Jesse, but it's funny that he was like, looking across the crowd. I'm curious how much experience he had with Live Goose before. But we'll get to the Bert Kreischer stuff in a little bit once we get to the show. But Anna, you're currently on your way to Louisville for tonight's show. You're drinking a lemonade. You're wearing a Clav Tweet bucket hat. Like this
Got
is
the
like
lemonade, got
the
the hat.
pinnacle. Doesn't get any better than this. So
So meta.
No,
take us through your birthday afternoon, the lead up to the show yesterday.
oh, lead up. Okay.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Yes, you did. I've had a pink lemonade in line, so I was set for the afternoon. Line, I don't know. I hung out with some cool people. I met everybody. I don't remember anybody's name. Sorry. Good line, good people. It was a shit show trying to get in. Everybody just like pushed through. We walked in and they were like finishing sound check, and so they had like the doors to the floor closed. So when they finally opened them, everybody just shoved through. That was fun. Uh, and then I ended up with some great people. I didn't want to tell everybody it was my birthday, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna tell everybody that it's my birthday, and then
As you should.
hugs,
As you
hugs
should.
ensued, and everybody was so excited, and everybody's like, "Oh, like what are you wishing for? What are you chasing?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm just happy to be here." But
And then
we'll
you
get
got what
into
you were
that
chasing.
later. Yeah, we'll get into that later. I got my big chase. So
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet last night, and then I didn't
you
think
didn't
to
interact
follow
with
up.
it. Yep.
I didn't. I was passing out when I saw it. That was, that half hour after the show is just,
Yeah,
all
it's,
bets are off. I'm not responding to tweets at that hour. I just can't do it.
it's when you're Neil and you said at like 5 p.m., like, yeah, man, I got work in the morning. Like I can't stay up. And then you're going to bed at 1 a.m. after staying up for the whole show. Like it's tough.
Hey, listen, after that second set, I dare you to try to go to sleep.
Or like during the
had
second
trouble.
set. Yeah.
During the second set, there was no way I was going to sleep during.
No, there were no
There's no
lulls in
way.
that set. But we'll get to the second set. I want to hear first about, you're in the venue, and the lights go down and Bert Kreischer walks on stage. What are you thinking?
So like before he came like obviously on the stage, like he came out into his like balcony box thing, whatever you call it, and everybody just starts like screaming and cheering, and I'm like, I'm not wearing my glasses. I have no idea who this man is. And then I'm like, oh, it's probably the comedian Baxter. I have no idea. I've never heard of this man until before he tweeted that he's coming to the show last night. So I'm like, cool, there's like a guy here. Great. So he comes out on stage and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is great. Like everybody's so excited. And then he takes his shirt off and I'm like, do your thing. Like go off. But like, is this allowed?
That's his whole bit. What I was thinking was when I first saw the video that was posted on Twitter of him doing the intro, it looked like he threw his shirt into the crowd, which I was like, his backstage sticker is on there. Like that might cause a problem. Like, you know, like some wook's going to pick it up and be like,
yeah, just like rolling backstage with a 3XL.
Yeah.
You know? It's like Lucas shows up backstage with a 3XL on, like, what's up, dudes?
Yeah.
Amazing. You know what I find fascinating about the whole Bert Kreischer thing?
What?
Is like I had heard of him before. I don't know how, but
the internet.
He has millions of followers on social media, like millions. And it's like outrageous. But like there are so many people I know who have no idea who the hell this guy is. And it's just fascinating. He's like ultra famous and like completely like niche fame. Like he's somehow like got these millions here, and then anybody outside of that just has no idea who he is. None whatsoever. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. That is interesting. But you know, we were talking about a little bit, you know, we were talking about last night and this morning and just like seeing a celebrity at a show. This is not the first time we've seen one at the show, but I feel like this is the first time where we've seen one come to a Goose show and just share, like, you know, posts on social media and just a vibe that, like, he knows the band, he loves the band, and is there to enjoy the music. He's not just there, you know, because it's like, oh, I heard this band was cool and I'm going to go party and, you know, whatever. But Bert seems like first of all, he posted on Instagram, one of his stories last night was like, this is the best night of my life. I saw Goose, like, you know, it doesn't get any better than this. You know, he's singing along, just like vibing to the music. And so it's amazing to see that it's like a genuine love for the band that brought him there.
I mean, he's stoked about the band. We talked about this before we started recording, but I mean, he seems like he really, truly is having a good time. This is not a bit or anything like that. I mean, I think he found out about them because they are playing the 2 nights at Red Rocks after he is playing at Red Rocks. So he's that big, right? He's playing at Red Rocks. And somehow just dug into their music. And yeah, he just loves the band. Clearly loves the band. You can see it like in his face when he's at these shows. It's great. Yeah, he is the biggest So Ready fan out there.
Yes, he is.
We should hip him to Slow Ready.
Just saying. Yeah. Team Slow.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's heard Slow Ready, you know, like, and he hasn't heard it live for sure. So, you know, I'm curious the extent of his Goose knowledge, you know, beyond we were talking about, like, you know, he's been listening to Moon Cabin based on the reports we were hearing from him at the show. But, you know, we can all speculate on that. But let's dive into this show a little bit here. Starting off the show, So Ready into Turbulence. Anna, how are you feeling about these first 2 songs?
Feeling great. I would just like to point out that So Ready was my 8-point pick. So I was in the lead for Fantasy Goose for just one single song. I'm going to ride that high for a little while. I am Team Slow, unfortunately. I do love So Ready, though.
Nothing unfortunate about that.
Well, for the fans. I also enjoyed Turbulence. I mean, that's a good one. I wanted to post you guys know the meme, the girl singing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to reenact the meme, Ryan? Go ahead.
That was pretty good, actually. I'm impressed.
I wanted to post it, but there's no service, and I wasn't really paying attention to my phone. So, just everybody pretend like I tweeted that meme. So.
Yeah, speaking of no service, last night was very stressful for those running the set list thread. We had no feed from inside the venue.
But who's we? You weren't
all
running
of us
the set list
collectively.
thread.
We all had no actual stream, and then we could not get text messages from our friends inside the venue.
I would like
because the service was so bad.
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to friend of the pod, Garrett's friend, who was texting Garrett what the set list was, and Garrett was texting me what the set list was, so I could then tweet it for the set list thread.
Dude's got an amazing data plan on his cell. But
yeah, it worked.
yeah, these two songs, great. So Ready opener is awesome.
Yeah,
Love it as an opener. And then Turbulence, also a great opener. They just kind of lined up the openers to start off the show.
I feel like So Ready also shows up in either as the opener to a tour or in the first set of a tour a lot.
Yeah. And they did it for Bert, right? He loves So Ready. We know this because we follow him on social media. And we looked at the printed set list after the show. It was not supposed to open the show. They just audibled that. They were like, we're doing this for Bert. He just ripped his shirt off for us and screamed at the top of his lungs. It was, I was joking about this on Twitter last night. By far the best hype man experience ever. Sorry, coach, but Bert's got this one on you, but I'm sure you've got other skills.
You were just shitting all over Coach lately.
I was not.
You were a little more strongly worded on Twitter than what you just said.
I think I was. Keeping it PG here.
We love you, Coach.
Yeah, we do love you, Coach. I was only joking. I want you to stay forever. Let's play Honeybee tonight. Let's get the rings.
There you go. So first set continues, with my highlight of the set. This segment is awesome. Elizabeth, Caution, Elizabeth. This is so cool. Elizabeth has been getting jammier this year as the year goes on, kind of returning to where it used to be back in the day, if you will. And I think we're going to be getting a very much bracket worthy Elizabeth jam by the end of this tour. But this is great. By 8 or 9 minutes in, they've gone completely type 2. They're in this spacey zone. Peter, starts using his marimba patch, which was getting a lot of play last night. And then the segue into Caution, they just kind of stumble upon it. I don't remember. Was it on the written set list? Was Caution on there?
Yeah.
It was. Okay. Well, whether they planned that segue in that fashion or not, Rick very nicely started going in there. Peter switched to guitar, and they started the song slow out of that space that they got into, and gradually, got it into the normal pace, and then back into Elizabeth to close it out at a different kind of Elizabeth groove, which is pretty cool. But Anna, what did you think of this segment?
I really enjoyed. I like Elizabeth a lot as it is, but I really enjoyed how they played it last night. And then to go into Caution, like how you just said, it was slow, and I'm like, do we always play it like this? I'm like, did I have too many lemonades? Am I okay? And then they kept upping the tempo, and I was like, okay, yeah, fuck yeah, yes. That was my first Caution.
Nice.
I do listen to it all the time, but it was my first one live. I really enjoyed it. I will not have anything negative to say about this show at all, just so we're clear.
Feels fair.
Either, for the most part.
Well, you should.
Neil, what did you think?
It was good.
Well, I have a confession to make. I listened to set 2 twice, once on my way to work and once on my way home from work, and I did not listen to this first set at all.
What are you doing, Neil?
Well, I listened to it when the stream was live, but I obviously didn't make my way back to this Elizabeth Caution. Elizabeth, the way it looks on a set list looks great. I never would have thought they would have done that. But yeah. I'm sure it's fantastic, and I'm sure I will get to it. And I'll offer thoughts maybe tomorrow on tomorrow's pod.
Okay, good. Yeah, you better go listen to it. That's I'm very disappointed in you, Neil. But the fact that you listened to the second set twice, fair enough.
I couldn't not. I had to.
You click on the show and it's
Yeah, I listened to the Arcadia from the first set. I definitely wanted to hear that again. But the first thing I went for, well, we're gonna get there, but was the first song of the second set, which was really, really good.
Well, we'll get there. Let's talk about the end of the first set here. We've got Lead Up, Turn Clouds, and Arcadia. Fan favorite Lead Up. Anna, what was the end of the first set like for you?
I love Lead Up. It's a great song. It's a jam. Yes. I love to sing it. I was feeling it last night. I was sober because it was hot as hell in the venue. So I'm like, if I drink alcohol, I'm gonna die. But I was feeling it. And I know they didn't play Feel It Now, but I was feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Fan favorite, Lead Up. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves Lead Up. And what do they play after that?
Turn Clouds.
Turn Clouds. I love Turn Clouds.
Anna loves Goose, guys. If you
I'm
couldn't tell.
I'm like a big fan. You know, Goose the band, Goose the fan. I'm the fan.
There you go.
I don't have anything negative to say. It was so good. I mean, they played like I tweeted this morning. Like even last night standing there, I'm like, oh, I love the song. Oh my god, I love the song, and I love all of their songs because I am a fangirl till I die. But like, you just everything like made my heart feel so like it was a good show. But no, the Arcadia, ripped, so fucking good. I'm standing there like jamming, and I'm like, damn, I can't wait to put this on my house cleaning playlist. I have a house cleaning playlist. If you guys want it, let me know. That's going on there.
Definitely share the house cleaning playlist. I think people will be interested in that.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Well, this Arcadia is excellent. Really, really great jam here. You know, we get the slow into the fast ending, of course. Great clav happening. You know, this was nice. Stream comes back up in the middle of Turn Clouds. This was the first full song, and you know, clav tweet.
Yeah, man, this was not a standard Arcadia by any means. You get kind of a different mixture of things that happen. You get like the beginning of the slow ending, and then it kind of goes like crazy. And I mean, I really enjoyed this. I think it got nice and quiet at one point and just kind of like plodded along. It was a cool Arcadia. It was really good. I was excited about it for a minute. I was like, oh boy, this might be like the first really, really good Arcadia in a really long time. And didn't quite like get crazy, but it was still, it's definitely a set highlight for sure.
100%. Yeah. Like, yeah, this isn't a bracket Arcadia, but it's a very good listen.
Just for that, I'm putting it on my bracket. Just for that comment.
There you go.
You're allowed to put whatever you want on your bracket.
I'm putting the whole show on my bracket, just so we're clear.
Fair enough.
There's probably a lot of people who are going to do that.
Birthday bias.
Well, okay. Set break, Anna.
Well, I know we can't talk about the deplorable bathrooms.
Oh man, there was all kinds of bathroom talk.
We'll let you. Okay, it's your birthday and you're on the pod. I'm gonna override Neil here and let you talk about the bathrooms.
Perfect. I mean, like they were clean, but like, yeah. So like, you know, when you like most porta potties, like they have like when you flip the lock, it'll have like that red bar on the outside.
Yep.
So they had that, like they were like normal stalls, whatever. But instead of having like a red thing and a green thing, it was like a red that somebody's in there and a white. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So like we're just like all standing there and nobody says like, oh, like there's more stalls on the other side and like sinks and stuff. So we're just standing like idiots. There was a little bit of a line at set break, which I was shocked. There was like other girls there. It was weird.
What?
I've never had this problem before. But like the bathrooms itself was fine, but like to get to the bathroom, awful. You have to go through like the whole like front hallway was packed with dudes. Go away. I want to go to the bathroom. And then you have to like go like down these stairs and like somebody had said, I don't know if it was on Twitter or Reddit, but somebody said that they're like remodeling the bathrooms. So you go down these like creepy dungeon stairs, and I was concerned I would be kidnapped.
I think it was B Dunn who was like, it was Jeff Hill who was like, do the bathrooms still look like, you know, like a horror movie?
Man, yeah, I mean, he hates that venue. Captain Incredible, friend of the pod, who's been on a bunch of times, but a lot of people who live in the Chicago area really, really despise the Riv.
Yeah.
They do not like it one bit. I heard it was hot. I heard the bathrooms have historically been terrible. Your security is historically awful. But sounds like
true.
They spun something up pretty good for this one. So
the
vibes were high. I'm told vibes were really, really high.
Listen, Vibes guy was in the house.
Happy was there.
All right, let's talk about the second set. You know, it's 4 songs. I think we just have to, you know, recognize the whole thing and then go song by song because each one needs to be talked about on its own. So we had Creatures, Hunger Site, Dripfield, Half Step. Let's start with this Creatures here. Anna, Creatures.
I was still in the beer line trying to get water when they came out, and I was like, cool, that was like a 5-minute set break. It felt so fast, but half the time I was spent trying to get through the front lobby. But I got back to my spot. We were grooving, we were dancing. It was great. I really enjoyed the Creatures. Really enjoyed it. Like it felt, I don't know all these technical terms that you kids use, but they were going places with it, guys. And I know it wasn't like a 25-minute jam or anything, but like it felt like they were trying to like do something different, go somewhere. I liked it. It's going on the house cleaning playlist. Just so we're
That
clear.
one should go on the house cleaning playlist. I agree. And I
Probably the whole show.
also agree with your assessment that this Creatures did something very, very different. Did a lot of things very different.
A
I think
lot.
Creatures, you can expect most Creatures to kind of do the same thing. It's got the same kind of jam that comes in the middle, and it's all good. There's no such thing as a bad Creatures in my mind. It's not a bathroom song or anything like that. But you think about past Creatures, and every time you hear Creatures, you want it to be like the really, really awesome ones. And this one approaches that. I'm not saying it's like an all-timer or anything, but it's really, really good. And we kind of had a funny conversation about it because they came out the gate right away, and you could feel something different happening immediately with the percussion. And Ryan and I were discussing it, and I said, there's a new drum out there for sure. And
You
Ryan's
did?
like, that's Jeff. And I was like, I'm talking about a drum, not a human being.
Not a person.
And I'm so glad the band tweeted today.
Timbale tweet.
The Timbale tweet.
There are shirts, by
Buy
the
the
way, if
hats.
anyone wants.
Buy the hats.
Shirts and hats.
They're really cool.
What shirts and hats? Oh, the cloud
I
tweet
made
or the
Timbale tweet. No, I made Timbale tweet shirts and hats.
That's amazing. I might actually get one. Or I want like a Team Timbale shirt because the Gong Gang is now out. It's all Team Timbale. But the funny thing is I didn't hear that at all in the first set, and maybe because I really only listened to a few parts of the first set, but you could hear it clear as a bell in this Creatures, and it set a tone. I don't know exactly how it did it, but right off the bat, it was different, and then the vibe was different all the way throughout this Creatures. It got weird, went to crazy places.
Arpeggiator.
There was arpeggiator jam. I mean, there was like Rick sitting back and then just kind of laying a foundation for Peter doing. I don't know how he was doing all the shit he was doing. Like, that's the crazy part. It's like you listen back to that, and that's why I had to listen to it twice today, in addition to listening to it last night. I just couldn't pick out how he was doing all the things that he was doing. And then there was like full volume stops on stuff that he was doing on the synth, where it almost like it's like a vortex turning the whole venue inside out. I don't know. It was blowing my mind.
Yeah,
this Creatures really good.
Yeah, that Peter 100% the MVP of this set, in my opinion. Just like all over every single jam. Yeah, and so he's doing stuff on the Nord synth, he's doing stuff on the Prophet, he's doing stuff on the Vintage Vibe, and he's doing stuff on the Nord with like the marimba, with a lot of reverb on that guy, and just flipping back and forth, two hands going at once, just amazing layers of sounds and textures and exploring new areas. We've been talking about a lot, like feels like there were new tones a lot last night. There was a different kind of delay happening from the guitars as well. I think it was Rick who had like a different kind of delay happening a little bit last night. And so there's new stuff. They've only been off the road for a little while, but Rick's got kind of a new amp configuration. Jeff's got a new drum. There's new shit happening. We're moving into summer tour, and they're still working on expanding sonically in different directions, and this Creatures was like a big indication of that.
Yeah, and then later when we talk about Drip too, more new stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, let's make our way there. Let's talk about this Hunger Site really quick. Obviously Hunger Site has been incredible this year. This one, does not quite reach the heights of the one they played in Chicago a couple of months ago. It's around half the length, but this is a great Hunger Site. Continuing that very aggressive jamming style they've been doing with it lately. Again, Peter right out front on piano, and then Clav, like just driving the jam here, and it's awesome. Man, how was Hunger Site in the room?
I feel like for the entire second set, like myself alone, I'm just like looking between like Jeff and Ben, and like I'm looking at everybody, and I'm just like mouth like open. I'm like in fucking on. I'm like, is this like the whole? I don't even have words. Like just the feeling of like, I don't know, the layers and the textures and the it feels different, but I know this song and I know like how they played it in at the Salt Shed. I know how they've played it here and there and wherever. It was just different. The whole second set was just different for me.
Yep.
I'm like still too right now. I'm dumbfounded. I have no words. It was great. The whole night was great. I'm just like still in shock. Like I left last night and I sat in my car for 20 minutes where I parked, and I'm just like, are we sure this happened? Like I'm like pinching myself. I'm like, this it was so much fun. But no, I really enjoyed the hunger site, even though how long did that clock at?
It was like 18 minutes, 17 minutes.
18?
No, I thought it was only like 14.
Well, maybe it is. Yeah, maybe.
Hunger
Somewhere
Site
in
was
the teens.
14. Yeah, I think Creatures was 18 and Hunger Site and Drip were each around 14, 15
Yeah,
minutes.
that's right. That's
Okay.
right. But
And I'm
gonna.
sure you guys can relate. Sorry, there's like people everywhere. I'm sure you guys can relate. Like when you're like in the moment, you're like, oh my God, like they've been jamming this for like forever. And it felt like they jammed a lot last night, like more than like listening. I've listened to it like 3 times already this morning, the entire show. And it felt last night like where I'm like, oh my God, like they've been like jamming this forever. They haven't.
Yeah.
It's in the teens, but I really enjoyed the hunger site. I think that's probably one of my favorites, like song wise, all together.
I'm going to agree with you again that this hunger site was very different. It's, I mean, similar to some other hunger sites, but I really enjoyed this one because in the beginning it almost felt like there was like a collision between Rick and Peter. They were not on the same page at the start of this jam. I think Rick wanted to take it one way and Peter wanted to take it another. And then Rick was insisting, and then Peter was like, nah, fuck you. Like, I'm just going to go. And then he did, and then he went. And then it had this kind of weird, like, disjointed vibe the whole entire time where it felt like they were going in one direction, then they were going in another direction, and they weren't all going there together. But sonically, it all worked out. It sounded awesome. It was really, really fun jam. And can't say enough about the way that Peter was playing in this. It really drove the jam. I was calling it like pure ADD jamming last night, where it was just like, I got this idea, and then it was just like 2 seconds later, new idea. But all had that same driving energy.
Yeah. And it worked. Yeah. Oh,
it definitely worked. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, then it fades. You get a couple of minutes, solid couple of minutes of, space synthesizers. Rick starts throwing in those blasts of like, I think it's like reverse delay or some weird bending of the, cloud of delay that we hear in like Butterflies and the Eugene Bourne specifically. So, I'm going to keep calling that the Eugene Bourne delay. But
yep.
He starts doing that. And then, Peter picks up his guitar, and then it starts to kind of sound like, okay, we might be getting into a little Drip territory here. And then they go into Drip, and again, just like amazing stuff. Peter on that marimba patch on his Nord again, just doing some amazing jamming. Was it the end of Creatures where Peter was doing the reverse delay stuff, right? On the Vintage Vibe? I don't remember which song.
No, I feel like this was like going into Drip.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that does sound right.
Because then it comes out later.
Yes.
When he goes back to it. Which we'll talk about that when that comes up.
But this drip is phenomenal. They ended unfinished. Without that little like that was really off key, but you get the idea what I'm talking about. The ending of Drip.
I'll get you a pitch pipe for the next episode.
Thank you. And now I'm doubting myself on whether there are previous unfinished drips that I haven't noted. So now I have to go back and listen to every drip.
Yeah, you mean Hunger Site, but yes, I agree. Right?
What? I'm talking about Drip.
Oh, we're
Hunger
talking about
Site
Drip.
doesn't have an ending.
Wait, we're already talking about the ending of Dripfield?
No, I'm just talking about Dripfield, which
Okay.
includes the ending of Dripfield.
I love when you guys fight.
Thank you. Anna, what did you think of
I'm just trying to
Dripfield?
figure out where the hell he was going with it. That's all.
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to shout out the lights last night during Dripfield. I mean, the
Yes.
lights all night, but during Dripfield, like the flashy, like green and
spinning
purple, and I love it. It was beautiful. I enjoyed the Dripfield. Who's shocked? Nobody. It was
It was really good.
it's like a good birthday. It was good. I don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, it again, like mouth open, like looking between everybody, and then like staring at Rick, and then staring at Peter, and then like everybody was again doing their own, not their own thing, but like it. I don't know.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Just excellent.
I'm speechless, which is rare for me.
There you go. Neil.
Lots of messages from inside during this trip about how awesome the lights were. I never really watched the video when I listened to the stream, but yeah, I hear it was fantastic. This trip was really, really cool. This had a really nice jam in it that I really enjoyed. Again, all different. And you talked about it already, but the transition into Drip was, it was so good.
So good.
Oh, just like melting out of like the weirdness into like Dripfield and the drip drums. Like, I love that kind of super psychedelic intro. For a while, it felt like it was going to be Dr. Darkness. I was like, for sure, this is going to be Dr. Darkness at this point.
I disagree. It didn't have that kind of like frenetic, like we're all
Not
playing
yet.
random notes, but it felt like it was a very gentle fade into the space. Like Dr. Darkness, when they're going into Dr. Darkness, they don't do something like that. It's immediately like a hitting random things.
But my expectation was that was going to begin, as opposed to like all of a sudden Dripfield beginning. So that was really cool. And furthermore, I just wasn't expecting a banger like Dripfield after that 1-2 punch that they just laid out there.
True.
I was expecting a cooldown at that point. And we were talking about this a little bit last night where we're like, hey, throw in like a 726 or a, your ocean here. It felt that would be appropriate. And that didn't happen. You got Dripfield instead. And then we were expecting a cooldown after that. Right? Like it just felt like something had to slow down at some point. And then, of course, I'm going to lead us into the next song, I guess, unless we have something else to say about Dripfield. But you get Half Step, which is outrageous. Like this whole set's just outrageous. I'm so excited about it. Like when I talk about it, I didn't expect that at all. It is not typical of Goose sets. And it was 2-guitar Goose. And it was, you got a bunch of 2-guitar Goose actually this night. There are a few things out there that sounded amazing. But yeah, holy smokes. What a way to finish out the set and just do a fully atypical set. This one is just bangers, bangers, banger, banger, like all the way through.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no such thing as a bad half step. So good.
You can cool down after the show, Neil says Brian.
Yeah.
This half step also, on the 2-guitar Goose topic, we had snippets of it throughout the show, like in the Drip, there was a little bit of it. In the Elizabeth, there was a little bit of it towards the end. But a lot of the 2-guitar jams this year have been like 2-guitar for a little bit, and then Peter switches to keys. I feel like this is the first one in a while where he stuck to guitar through the whole jam, and right to the ending. I think actually he did it at the Madhavan at summer camp as well, because they were a little tight for time, so they didn't have, didn't go out on a crazy thing. But hearing them do that thing where they get into just like this 2-guitar churn and Peter's just like slamming, chords on the guitars. It like gets dark and dark and dark. And then they build back into the song. It was just so awesome. I was very, very happy during this jam. Anna, how did you feel about this half step?
It was the big chase, guys.
Oh, that was the chase. I should have guessed that.
I mean, and like for weeks, everybody was like, what are you chasing? What do you want to hear? What are you hoping for? And I'm like, I have no requests, no wish, just glad that they're here, glad that I'm able to go, blah, blah, blah. I kept that shit to myself forever. I am a Deadhead before I'm anything else. So a half step is a dream. It's one of my favorite Dead songs as it is, but they start playing like the opening notes and I'm like, my mouth dropped and I'm like, no fucking way. No way.
They knew.
And then, wow. Just, it was beautiful. It was great. One of my favorite songs, one of my favorite covers that they do. I admittedly am not always huge on covers, especially of my favorite bands, but they do this one justice. They do a lot of covers justice. I really enjoyed it. Really glad I got to hear it last night on my birthday. I mean, the lyric, on the day that I was born, my papa sat down and cried. I was gonna tweet that yesterday, but I'm like, let me not be weird. And then they played it. So I was like, damn, I should have tweeted it and then like quote tweeted it and been like, I called it, just saying.
There you go. What was there a lot of crowd singing happening during half step?
Yes.
It was
Everybody
just Anna and
around
Bert.
me.
Just the two of them. The volume was that loud.
I mean, yeah.
Bird of Deadhead, do we know?
We don't.
You're asking
Okay,
the
we
wrong
don't.
guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the half step is great. Shout out to Stephen Hyden on the half step,
Huge half step fan.
Huge half step.
Known all over the internet. But yes, I'm with you. The interesting thing about half step, I think, when folks got exposed to Goose in 2019, let's say, all the folks who kind of caught on with the Peach set, I think that's the first thing in the Peach set that people heard and were like, oh, this band's interesting. Because it's their cover of Half Step is not very much in the style of the Grateful Dead. It is very much in Goose's own style. They are not like a Grateful Dead cover band when they go out there and do Half Step.
Right.
And so I'm glad you got your chase. I also got it at one of my first sets of shows and like kind of lost my mind when they played it. It's so awesome.
Nice.
And it's such a cool, I don't know, the lore of this particular Grateful Dead cover in Goose's catalog is awesome and cool. So anytime they do play it, I kind of just think back to Peach Set. And then I think back to like, it was either my first or second show. It's like escaping me right now, but they played it at that. And yeah, killer. Just so good. And what a way to close the set.
Yeah.
Expecting at least 2 songs to close out after all of that. And then you just get Half Step all the way through. So awesome.
Yeah, solid. It was like set was just over an hour. They were running up against an 11:30 curfew. It was interesting. It didn't feel like the show started that late. But I guess these are the way things happen. But we got a 63-minute second set, and then a nice little Western Sun Butter Rum encore. Always fun. There's that cool down that Neil was looking for, and then a quick 6-7 minute rum. Fire everyone up. Have a good time. Finish out the show. Anna, what did you think of the encore?
I'm a big fan of Western Sun. I cried only a little bit. Just a smidge. I don't know why that one always makes me cry every single time, no matter what. Big fan. So I only cried a little bit. With another one that like they played and I was like, really? For real? Like I get to hear this? That wasn't obviously like the big chase, but it was like something I've never heard them. That last night was only my 10th show. So I've not had a Western Sun yet, obviously till last night. So glad to hear it. Really enjoyed. Little bit of tears. Butter rum, so much fun. Who said online that they're not going to talk about it? Back Easy Jim. He's not going to like talk shit about butter rum anymore.
Why? Because
it's so much
he
fun.
beat Vickers on Fantasy Goose because of it.
Beat Vickers on Fantasy Goose
by 1 point.
By one singular point.
We need a fucking Vickers soundbite. I think I need to upload that into StreamYard here. I think I can do that actually, and I think I might do that before tomorrow's episode.
Next time we have him on, for sure. At least by then. That's your deadline.
And I'm gonna do it before tomorrow.
What an awesome pair to close out the show, though.
Yeah,
and this is like another one where you just got more than you were expecting. I think this whole entire show, you got more than you were expecting. they could have just walked away after a Western Sun, and beautifully placed, I think. And Goose can do a ballad in the encore slot and walk away and make you feel like you weren't ripped off, especially when it's such a strong one, like a Western Sun. The lyrics are so beautiful. Friend of the pod, Brian Brinkman, recently was talking on, his Attendance Bias podcast, or as a guest on the Attendance
Flocking
Bias
Outside,
podcast,
yeah.
Flocking Outside, about how much he loves this song. And I think it just resonates with everybody who hears it. You listen to those lyrics and it just makes you want to run away and, quit
Go
your
everywhere
job
and
and
feel everything.
Go on tour every time. So the tears are definitely understandable. And then I think, why not close with Butter Rum? Why not?
Why not?
I mean, I don't hate Butter Rum. There are a lot of Butter Rum haters out there. I think it's fun. If
Depends
you're
on
at the show, you get to dance to it. Sometimes you get a good jam in it, like a really good jam, not just like a crappy jam, but sometimes you get really good jams in it. So the hate is, I just don't understand it. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret saying that. There will be a soundbite of me talking about how much I love Butter Rum, and then my friends will make fun of me, but I don't care. I have no shame.
Well, hey, B couldn't make it here today to make fun of you, so.
Yeah, and he won't listen anyway, so unless you tell him.
So we're safe. We're safe. Well, you mentioned a Peach set, Neil. Guess what you and I will be doing a week at this time?
Hopefully we're standing in front of the stage watching Goose and are dry. That's my standard.
Isn't there a cover?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a cover there. Yeah.
Well, we'll find out. But yeah, Neil and I are going to be at Peach next weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. So obviously we'll talk about it more on the, over the next week as we get closer to it. But we are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. 2 sets of Goose. They just released the daily schedule today. We're kind of putting stuff together, but I think it's going to be a fun weekend.
It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait. So if you're going to Peach, come say hi.
Yes.
To me and Ryan, please. I don't know if we have anything to hand out, but maybe I'll figure something out between now and then.
There will be a Blame Vickers shirt that will be making an appearance.
I sure hope so. I mean, I do have a special outfit planned.
In a perfect world.
I'm not an outfit planner necessarily, but I am for the first night of Peach. So
there we go. It's gonna be great. But Anna, we're going to let you go, get back on the road, finish your journey down there to Louisville for tonight's show, which is going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we know that Goose loves Kentucky. Last time they played in Louisville was a great show. And hope you're excited. So drive safe and have a great time tonight.
I sure will. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And of course, we will be back right here tomorrow, same time, same place, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, to talk about tonight's show. We are, we've got some guests lined up. There may be other guests coming in. Maybe the hot dog king of the Midwest. We don't know yet.
Maybe Bert Kreischer. You just don't know.
Maybe Bert Kreischer. You never know who's going to show up on. Always almost there.
Maybe if you just kind of do a little bit of, we'll get you a pitch pipe, and then you can sing "So Ready" and then serenade Bert Kreischer into coming on our podcast. You never know.
I think that's a great way of doing it. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this episode or tuning into this episode of Always Almost There Day After Show. We will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening.